Alright then fellas, so this time around I want to talk about a different topic apart from finance, stocks, credit cards, etc. that I normally talk about in this channel. This time around I do want to talk about 3 tech skills that you need to know in order to stay valuable in 2025. So welcome back to the channel. I know you've been following my videos and I do like to mix gaming with real world finance and career knowledge. So today, like how I just mentioned, I'm going to talk about 3 tech skills that you need in 2025 to stay competitive in the job market or even just level up in your career. So think of this like your loadout guide for those who like playing Call of Duty or know FPS games. So the right perks and the right weapons can make or break your match. Same thing with your career. You don't want the wrong setup because you'll be left behind, right? So the first skill is super duper important. It is data literacy and AI tools. So what's first is data literacy. In 2025, companies run on data. People or companies pay to ensure that their data is the source of their data is impeccable, is accurate and useful to them, and obviously they're going to want somebody who is able to analyze that amount of data. And of course, the data isn't necessarily structured, isn't necessarily straightforward. We need analysts that are prepared enough to use the modern day tools in order to do 2 things: be able to explain what the data is talking about, and the second is to be very self-sufficient and very efficient to do whatever it is they have to do in order to get the project ahead. So it doesn't matter if you're in marketing, finance, health, or in gaming. Every field uses data to make smarter decisions. Okay, so this means you need to know how to read data dashboards and also build them. Use Excel. It's not going anywhere. SQL is a must for everybody who wants to break into data. And of course, AI-driven tools like ChatGPT or Copilot, and we will use this to speed up our work. You don't need to be a full-on data scientist, but should be able to ask the right questions and interpret results to make you more valuable. And quickly is the key word here. So the game analogy I want to share with you guys is like having a UAV or a radar in Call of Duty. You might not need to know how to build the UAV, but you need to know how to read the map and use the intels to avoid ambushes and be able to pick your fights and be able to rotate accordingly in order to get a better advantage on your opponents. So that's pretty much what having access to data means, right? So a mini summary is that even if you can't read the data in 2025, you're basically running blind in a game while your competition sees everything on the mini map. Okay, so hopefully this gaming analogy is helpful. The second skill is cybersecurity awareness. So with AI growing, so there are online threats, scams, phishing, phishing emails, hacked accounts. Employers need people who know how to protect their sensitive data. So this doesn't mean that you need to be a hacker or run firewalls, but basic knowledge like spotting phishing attempts, securing, using secret passwords, multi-factor authentication, and understanding privacy policies to make you way more trustworthy in a workplace. So the game analogy here is think of cybersecurity as a base defense in Battlefield. You don't always need to be an engineer to set up the turrets, but unless you're careless and leave the doors wide open, the enemies may just waltz in and wipe your team. And we don't want that, right? So if you know cybersecurity, it's like running around without armor. You'll get taken out before you land your first shot. The third skill is digital communication and adaptability. So remote work and global teams aren't just going away. It's being able to collaborate on Slack, Teams, or Zoom while keeping things clear, concise, and professional is crucial. You want to be able to communicate to everybody on your team, especially your managers, despite being physically disconnected from one another. You're still on top of it, and you're still providing such levels of communication that convinces managers that, hey, like, this person's working, this person knows what he's doing. I do not need to worry about this person. So adaptability is also huge because tools change fast. If your company switches from Excel to Power BI, Excel to Smartsheet, Power BI to Tableau, then one project management tool to another, The question you need to ask yourself here is how quickly can you adapt? So employer values people who don't just complain but figure things out. The practicality of this, however, is a bit more impractical. You know, if certain structures are in place already, then it's a bit harder to to deviate from it. But of course, teams always try to adapt the most appropriate and modern tool for their purposes. And of course, this means whatever they have concurrently is being added on top of that by new tools. Seldom that I've seen consistently proven tools to be obsoleted and replaced by something else, right? So the gaming analogy here is that imagine a new patch drops in Call of Duty, and suddenly your favorite weapons gets nerfed. You either rage quit or notice that, hey, like my A's val, my kilo isn't as strong anymore. So the better thing here is to adapt to whatever the nerf is. You can switch weapons and still be able to dominate the lobby. Players who adapt stay on top. Same thing goes for our careers. So the mini summary here is being flexible with tools and communication is like being a versatile player in a squad. You can switch mid roles and still carry the team. So the bonus skill I want to add here is ethics using AI and the responsible use of AI. So companies are asking, how do we fairly use AI without adding biases, without having our privacy policies violated? Just know that even the basics of responsible AI use can give you an edge in job interviews. So a good example of this is like leaking your own data via AI. It's always best, but also more costly to for the company to create their own generative AI model that's in-house in order to keep whatever it is that's important in the data, whether it be highly sensitive customer information or product information that we shouldn't leak to our competitors. It's important to ensure that doesn't get leaked out using out-house AI tools. So the game analogy here is like, think of this as not abusing glitches or hacks in the game. Of course, in the short run, if you do, you will win the short run, but if you get banned, you lose everything. So an AI responsible use makes you more valuable in the long run. So the conclusion here is simple. So I do want to cover again data literacy, which is basically knowing how to use UAV. Cybersecurity awareness is basically taking care of your surroundings in Battlefield, as an example. And digital adaptability is like dealing with guns that are nerfed and be able to either adapt to how the weapon that behaves or switch to a different one. So think of them as your core loadout. Without these, you run into the battlefield with no perks, and it's something simple. We're not noobs here. We want to be able to adapt into whatever environment we're going to be tossed into, right? So if you like this mix of gamings and career talks, hit the like button and subscribe for more. And of course, drop a comment on these videos, letting me know what you think I should cover next, or if you like or dislike my commentary, please let me know. I'm open to suggestions. Alright then, fellas. Later.
Bye-bye. Hostile counter UAV established above. Take it B. Sit rep. LDPR incoming.